Hi there, it's Natasha and thank you so much for joining me today. This is the card that we are going to be creating today, or a slightly different version of it. Mine says party, but you guys could have any other saying on it that you wanted it to. I'm going to start off here with a 110 pound Nina Solar White card base that measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I have a piece of 80 pound Nina Solar White there on the right hand side, and I'm going to use these stitched circles just to cut out a circle die. It doesn't matter that they're stitched, all I need is the circle part. Although if you have one that creates a really nice pattern on the outside, the stitching on the outside, that would be good too. So I've cut it out and it is kind of quite a big circle, but I do want to fit lots inside of it. So I'm cutting off the edges ever so slightly so that it leaves a neat border when I put it onto my card base. So here I have this jungle stamp set, and I've been really enjoying this jungle stamp set. As a previous video, I had used the zebra from this set, and I'm just using, you guys should use a pencil, but I didn't have a pencil, so I'm actually using a really sharp end from my quick stick tool just to make a little dent, and I can see where the circle is, but it is really hard to pick up on camera, sorry about that. But I'm just using it to guide where to put the animals so that I can make sure that enough of their bodies is poking out through the circle and a tiny little bit will be hidden. So I find it easiest to place all of the stamps down first. Now I am going to want to do different colours, and there is different layers to the animals as well. So I will kind of end up masking, maybe, I'm not sure if that's the right term, but just masking off some of the other animals so that I don't get ink on them, because most of the animals are different colours. Now this is some VersaFine vintage sepia and some Hero Arts wet cement. This is going to be the colours that I'm using for the monkey. I just searched through my entire ink collection from top to bottom. It didn't matter whether it was pigment inks or dye inks or hybrid inks, and I just found any colours and I stamped them out on some paper to kind of see what I liked the look of best. So go through, have a look at your stash. Sometimes it even works if you just stamp the ink twice. That makes it kind of much darker. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I didn't have the perfect colours, but for the zebra, that one's the easiest because it is only black and there's only one layer to it. And you can see here I'm kind of doing that little bit of masking because I do not want to get the giraffe's face in black. So stamp the monkey and the zebra, and as I finish stamping them, I'm taking them off the block, obviously. And I'm using some fossilized amber and Cup of Joe. The Cup of Joe is Hero Arts one, and the fossilized amber is a Distress Oxide ink. And I'm going to do the little line here. Now I think I end up doing the giraffe in the same color actually, but never mind. Anyhow, and so I've done the bottom layer of the line, and then there's a top layer that puts in the features of his face. And okay, yeah, I did remember that I wanted to do fossilized amber for the giraffe body as well. So that's all good. I've just turned my Misty upside down, and you could do this all with acrylic blocks, no problem at all. Sometimes I like to, when I'm using different inks that I don't find quite so good or that are a little bit drier, just because I was really going through my stash. That's why it's good to have the Misty to be able to double stamp them or make them darker. Now here is this giraffe set. I have cut apart the feet and the little tail. I found that they did not match up when I tried to put them on the giraffe body. This doesn't bother me at all, and they still line up perfectly. So all the little feet are together and all the body dots are together, and honestly it doesn't bother me one bit, but that's what I found, that I had to cut them apart so that they matched up far more evenly. So now I'm just going to put his little tail on, the little end part to his tail, and I think I'm using maybe Cup of Joe, the Hero Arts one, and I'm going to use the same ink to do his little feet. I did just mask off a little bit because I don't want to get outside of the border where the border of that circle will be. Now I have this little party hat here, so this is the same one that I used in the last zebra video, which I struggled with lining them up, which I don't know why because it's such a simple triangle. So now I have these 4 inks here. These are Tumble Glass, Mermaid Lagoon, Shaded Lilac and Wilted Violet, and they're all Distress Oxide inks. And I'm going to do the lighter colours is going to be the base of the party hat, so it's just this little triangle. And I'm sorry that I'm off screen here, but I'm sure that you can figure out what I'm doing. It's basic, just planting these little triangles all around inside where that circle is going to be showing. And then I'm coming back in with the darker blue to go over the blue party hats, and then the wilted violet to go over the shaded lilac colour, the lighter purple colour, just so it kind of makes it a little bit more party-ish. And you can kind of see here how it's going to end up. I'm just checking that everything is where I want it to be. And then I have these alphabet dies. These are from AliExpress, as is the jungle stamp set. So I will link those down in the description box below in case you're interested. This is the circle that I took out of, that I cut out earlier. And I'm just got the letters party, so the 5 letters. And I'm going to run them through my die cutting machine, and I'm going to try and fit them on here each three times, because I want to kind of create a chipboard look and glue them all together so that they're nice and thick. So I've cut them all out 3 times out of that wee circle. I managed to fit all of them in, and I'm just putting a little bit of glue on each letter and then piling the next one on top of it, then gluing again, then piling the next one on top of it. And I'm going to do that with all of the letters. And they are going to stay white because I'm going to end up colouring the background. I felt like everything was a little bit too white for a party, and this is when you do end up colouring the card front. It's definitely a time where you can customize it to be for a girl or a boy or something. So the first one I did was a blue one, and then I decided that I wanted to do this one, the shaded lilac colour, which is kind of a lavender light purple color, just because I felt like I was bringing out the colors of the party hats. You could choose a million colors here, would look fabulous. So I am just sponging it on. The Distress Oxide's gone really nicely, and then I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue. This is the multi-medium in the matte finish from Ranger, which is inside my little squeezy bottle, which I get from AliExpress. And I'm just going to put this layer down nice and flat. The liquid glue enables me to move it around a little bit and line it up nicely. And then last but not least, I'm going to put on these little letters party, and because I was too lazy at the time to get them all lined up, I'm just putting them all squiggly, which I think kind of suits the theme of the card a little bit, and I like the look of it. So the only other thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of Winkered Stella pen. This is just a clear silver sparkle. It adds to it, and go over the letters as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed watching this card, and give something similar a go yourself. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye.